Alright, welcome to day 54 of the Vera Series. As you know, no level increase, but starting out, you want to go to your artificial island, and you want to go back to building, and then you want to hit claim, because remember, you can only hold these resources for 24 hours. On top of that, don't forget to clear your enemies, and don't wait till the last day like I usually do. And of course, you want to check your exchange store and buy your weekly items. Next, you want to do your Mia's Kitchen, and you want to knock out your 4 bounties for the day, and I'm going to go with the Sparrow. Which brings us to Vitality, starting with joint operations. So for today, we got access to pants, gloves, a king, and a crow matrix. We also can do the Sadness Valley, so these are actually some pretty good dungeons, and you may want to use some Vitality solutions. Then we have Interstellar Exploration, and you want to check Vera, as well as check Aspera, so that way you get all of your Stargates. And you want to see if you have any level 3s, and the best way to tell is if this weapon battery category has a number 3, it's a level 3 Stargate, but if it has a number 2, it's a level 2 Stargate. But if you don't have any level 3s or level 2 Stargates, you could always do Dimensional Trials, and if you need money, you could always do Space-Time Domains. But if you're pressed for time, you could always make Omnium Beacons. Which brings us to our optionals, and that's giving gifts to your 1.0 characters, and the best way to do that is to go to the black market and talk to Hopkins, see this island, and do the Claw Machine, and knock out your 2 trainings for the day. But what is not optional is to do your 8 Funzones, and try to do your 6 Greyspace Fishers. But the place that's going to give you the best rewards are the Twilight Zone, but you do have an 8-hour time limit, so there is no rush. And don't forget about racing, so that way you can get that 400 Mira, as long as you make the top 100. And of course, try not to wait to the very last day to do your Security Force missions for the week, so you can get those old Vera coins and Mira. And don't forget to check your point of research by going to your missions tab and clicking on an item and clicking use. Because remember, you can only hold a grand total of 20 energy and you get 5 free energy a day. So you want to make sure that this does not cap. And then we have our events, and we basically only have 1 day, maybe 2, depending on when you can log in. But make sure you logged in enough time so that way you got all your dark crystals. Also, hopefully you did the Shirli mission so that way you're able to get the Shirli skin and the Nemesis weapon skin. Make sure you do your TOF referral program. And for the lucky Tarrot, you got an extra day to go ahead and try to roll for that if you want. And then you have the Winter Festival. We should have enough points to go ahead and clear out the store, so you want to make sure you do that. But again, I recommend that you either do Float Parade or Creature Clash, because unless you have some extra Copper Bloom, I wouldn't do Bullet Time. And Lyra and Tian are going away in about 2 days as well. And now let's talk about some news. So it looks like tomorrow is when we're going to be able to do the server transfers again, so this most likely will happen after the maintenance that is scheduled for tonight. And again, if you're on the NA servers, come on down to Solaris, so that way you can hang out with me, and you got Kawasa to do those raid and FC carries over on Muwasa Gaming. Which brings us to the weekly tab, and hopefully you've been saving some type 3 keys. I have 11 so far, because in 2.4 we should be getting 2 new world bosses that drop some very strong matrices, especially for my free-to-plays. So I strongly recommend that if you haven't been saving type 3 keys so far, you start saving them now. Then we got our challenges. So if you're trying to do something like the Bygone Phantasm or Frontier Clash, you might want to start saving your Mia's Kitchen so that way you can power yourself up, but starting with the Bygone Phantasm. So again, I recommend that you take a look at this weapon bonus. If you have a good weapon bonus, you might want to do this sneak to next level, and if your CS is high enough, you're going to be able to jump up 11 levels as long as you can beat that floor. But the biggest thing that will determine your rank is Sequential Phantasm. So if you can get a high score here, most likely you're going to get the top score for the week and get the best rewards. Frontier Clash, we got an attempt today, so you want to go ahead and knock that out so that way you can get that golden gear. Void Risk, if this is a first time boss for you, you want to go ahead and knock it out. Void Abyss, you want to make sure you do this before the month ends so that way you can get those micro reactors. Wormhole, we got 2 days left to complete this, so you want to make sure you do so that way you can get that energy crystal dust. Rage, you want to do the last 2 on Heroic, and you want to do Battle Test Area on Heroic so that way you can get the best rewards for the week. The Critical Abyss, now this is optional content, but you can do it so that way you can get some clusters. Break from Destiny, you want to do this at least 1 time so that way you can get those 250 dark crystals. Apex League, if you're trying to reach Grand Marshal, you might want to put a couple hours in each day. And then we got our daily buys, so you want to go to Shop, Hot, and then buy your 2 Vitality Solutions. Now this is only if you can afford it, but for me, I have 105, so I'm going to pass. But try to buy your advanced modules and your booster modules for the week if you can afford it, which brings us to the Commissary, starting with the Crystal Dust store. So you want to buy your advanced modules, your booster modules, and your very special gift for the week. And when it comes to your potent Omnium Crystal, I recommend that you pass, because you should have enough to reach an 8.3, even 8.4 suppressor through exploration alone. But what you can do with your golden Crystal Dust is buy boots, and if you have a good pair of boots, then you can buy hand guards, and if you have a good pair of hand guards, then you can buy whatever else you want. Spacetime store, you want to buy your booster modules, your advanced modules, and your data repeater for the week. Crew store, now the only thing you want to spend your points on are relics, and the relics that I recommend are Space-Time Rift, unless you have a level 3, or Omnium Shield. But if you have both of those, you might want to consider getting a drone level 3. Support store, you want to buy your joint supply chips, your Space-Time Crystal Fragments, and your Space-Time Crystal Dust for the week. And if you can, try to buy your Space-Time Crystal Fragments using return support points. Point store, now the only thing you want to spend your points on are spare special gifts, so that way you don't have to do training, black market, or see this island again. But if you need to level up your matrices or weapons, you could always buy matrix data packs or weapon batteries. And with your critical abyss points, you could always buy clusters. But besides that, I just recommend that you explore the map. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If so, feel free to check out my predictions for upcoming banners. But other than that, talk with you guys later.